Well, you get the big two today.
Big two in more than one way.
Yeah, no kidding. We're about two people, but 4 times the crew.
Yeah, it's like when I coached baseball for Bushnell West Prairie. My second year I coached, we were joking because we had predominantly the biggest coaching staff in the Prairie Land Conference, probably.
So you had a weight minimum for coaching.
Neil Armstrong and I were both assistant coaches with Dave Arnold, and everybody said you've probably got the biggest coaching staff in the Prairie Land Conference.
This is Greg and Dwayne here on a Saturday afternoon. That's your phone. I wondered why it felt funny. That was your phone.
You can steal it if you want to. There's never much on it.
But we're here today for Ridgewood versus the West Prairie Cyclones. Kind of mixing up our crews a little bit because I'm telling you, folks, we got a wild week ahead of us here coming for West Prairie and Bushnell. I know we're getting close to the girls wrapping up their season. I believe the 10th is the last home game for West Prairie. And that's right at the end of the varsity regular season.
That's the last day you can play a regular season game, in fact.
And so they will be playing on the 10th, and then regional starting that next week. Boys are not too much farther behind. Usually by the end of February, they're wrapping up. So it is going to be a fast finish. We're going to have boys 8th grade regional semifinals and finals on the air this week. I know Bushnell's got a boys game. And a huge game Wednesday night here as the Southeastern Suns come to visit the Cyclones.
Let's hope that Mother Nature isn't a pain in the butt again and forces us not to play it again, because it's been rescheduled once, and that's a game that everybody looks forward to because it's, now they're football partners but basketball counterparts, and so it's fun to see those games, kind of like it's still fun to watch BPC and West Prairie for those exact same reasons, because some of the kids played with each other on the football field and on the track side of things and the baseball side of things and the softball side of things, so on and so forth. So it's kind of cool to see that. Well, we want to see that for the first time with Southeastern.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. JoJo's Gaming Parlor is our pregame sponsor. They offer the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out the TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH Events live on the big screens. Come join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street, Bushnell. I am going to start my other job while we're on the air here. It feels weird because I'll hear myself screaming.
That's okay. Now you know what your wife feels like. Or your kids.
Can we say that on the air?
Or your kids.
Yeah, well, the kids, actually. Also, my 5th and 6th grade basketball girls will know.
There you go. Oh, we got the national anthem, I guess, first, don't we?
We do. Good afternoon, and welcome to West Prairie High School for today's varsity matchup between the Spartans of Ridgewood High School and your West Prairie Cyclones. At this time, gentlemen and ladies, please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you, everyone, and now let's meet the starting lineup for the visiting Spartans of Ridgewood High School. Number 5, Carmen Stahl. Number 11, Maya Brown. Number 14, Maher. And number 32, Halika Warren Anderson. And number 33, Paige Leander. The Spartans are coached by Maggie Malik, assisted by Katie Miller and Hannah Garrett. And now, for those in attendance and those listening over the World Wide Web, feel the storm winds blow. See the storm clouds on the horizon. And now, the starting lineups for your West Prairie Cyclones. Number 1, Addie Despain. Number 2, Maddie Hood. Number 3, Grace Vanonic. Number 4, Allie Arnold. And number 10, Lauren Powell. The Cyclones are coached by Grant Glenn and assisted by Mary Vanonic. Your officials for tonight's game are Jason Baker, J.D. Beal, and Gary Woodkirk. Good luck to both teams.
You know, we're always in trouble when J.D. Beal is one of your officials, right?
You said that, I did.
Oh, I like J.D. I'm surprised. I'm probably lucky he hasn't seen me up here yet because he'd be giving me a hard time if
or throwing you out.
Or throwing me out. That's a distinct possibility as well.
And tip is up, and we are underway here. Maya Brown with the basketball for Ridgewood. Carmen Stahl gives it back. And the Cyclones breaking into a zone here, going to Leander in the corner. And it is both Leander, so I'm going to have to be specific. Actually, Maher. Actually, Leander in the post. Dwayne, I shouldn't giggle because that was just like a sequence of keep away.
Yeah, well, you'll have that occasionally. I'm interested to see how Lauren Powell moves around. She got hurt the other night and had to leave the game against Illini West.
Brown dribbling it up, lost the handle on it. It is 2-0 Ridgewood, and traveled as she fell to the floor. And I should apologize to Hannah Maher because the way it was written, I couldn't read what the first name was during the introductions. And a little bit of a press here. Now, this is one of those presses that's not really let's steal it. It's more of a speed them up. Pass going past Maher, and Grace Vanont picking it up, scoring. So it makes it a 2-2 tie. As I'll bring it over the timeline here, and the Cyclones working, because this is a big Ridgewood Spartans team, Dwayne.
Yeah, they're pretty tall, and a little bit of some decent ball movement. We're going to call a foul there. It was kind of a surprise to me.
That's on Vanonic, her first, team first.
Hey, fouls are still on the screen. I left them on there for you if you want to try and keep up with them.
I will try to keep up
Good
with
luck
them.
with that because I always forget.
Well.
They're always on my screen, but me keeping up with them is two different things.
And that one, nice shot from the free throw line by Maher. She'll put it in and make it a 4-2 Spartans.
You mentioned this press. It's not like an up-in-your-face steal press. It's just to harass, take some time off the clock, and maybe may force you into an error by rush, like you said.
Yep, just three-quarter court, not a trap or anything, just kind of a, hey, we're here. 4-2 lead, and that is Brown bringing it across. Going across, kind of very slow, working it around here into the corner. That's interesting. Got one of your taller ladies kicking her in the corner. Now in the lane.
Right there you see, well, I was going to say you see on the back side that taller lady comes into the post when the ball gets to the other side, though.
And dribble in. And nice block from behind by Addie Despain. But Leander gets it again, gets it again, gets it again, and scores it again. It's the little kid thing as the bigger brother or bigger sister playing keep away.
Yeah, she just was too tall. Nobody could time their jump right to knock the ball away from her at the height of her jump.
6-2 lead now for Ridgewood. They're playing a 1-2-2 or almost 1-3-1, but a weirdly flat one. Steal on the outside, picked up there and brought in the lane. Shot missed. Rebound tipped around. Hood has it, flips it into Despain. Nice hustle play.
Yeah, Hood came down late, got into the play, and made something happen.
Powell with it on the far side, trying to get something. Grace Vanonic kind of got swallowed up there trying to set the pick. Brings it around, lobs to Despain. We work down to 5:20 left in the first quarter. Maher with the block, and then throws it up here to Stahl. Stahl stalls it out on the near side. You know I was going to work that in. Yeah, you knew I was going to work that in. And
they worked it out.
Yeah. Kind of like you and I both need to do more. Yeah, this is funny. I get to work with a boss.
We need to work out more, not work it out more.
Yeah.
Or at least I do, anyway.
Well, I do too. Despain throwing that one up. It's going to be tipped and still. Oh!
She fell down hard.
Yep. And they'll bring it back to Brown up top into Maher, who bobbles it. And Hood and Arnold did a nice job. Great save by Grace Vanonic. That was nice. And bring it up here, 6-2, 4:40, clock rolling here in this first quarter. As Powell will look to dribble inside, dumps it down for Arnold. Leander able to take it away from her. And there is another, that is Paige Leander. Down in the corner to her, looking into Maher. Going over to Warren Anderson. She'll spin.
You know, everybody watching this game is going to understand why I talk more than I run a camera, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure. Trust me, it'd be the same if it were me. Shot on the way, no good. Rebound. Lauren Powell among the trees, couldn't get it. Maher pulls it away and puts it up and in.
That very easily could have been called a jump ball. But.
Yeah, you don't know what the, like the 1-2 or what the possession was. And makes it 8-2 now. Cyclones work it down, 3:45 left in the first. Bounce it into Arnold. Arnold out to Powell. Fake, she'll drive in, and Leander able to get a piece of that. And I don't know, Maher and Leander probably goes 6 foot, maybe 6'1", I'd guess. Maher maybe 5'10", so a little more size there. Warren Anderson shoots a line drive 3.
That was flat, wasn't it?
That was almost underneath the rim. Now Addie Despain will drive up, and that's the second spill she's taken.
You probably heard both of them because that was a pretty good thump. Foul on the play.
And we got a mask timeout. And again, this is one of those, some take it, some don't. We're going to thank the fine folks, part of them making our broadcast. This is TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit.
The new facility, the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center, this is a quality facility that the patients need to match the quality of care.
And then we also have a new clinic, which is state-of-the-art.
And here at McDonough, we have a team. And everybody feels like they're a part of the successes that we have.
We have a strong team in our office and in labor and delivery. You will get the best care at McDonough District.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit. And all the providers and staff are putting the patient first.
Back here as Coach Grant Bland talks to his charges. I mean, 8-2, not have been a big run out like one of the last games we had was, huge deficit. Grant trying to slow things down a little bit and just make sure the deficit doesn't get too far away.
Well, the thing that you were talking about the three-quarter court pressure that's not like a trapping press. It's not really a press to break or get steals from you per se. It's to keep you out of your rhythm. And it tends to force teams to take quick shots when they get down to the other end. I think Coach Bland right now is probably telling his kids, hey, let's slow down when we get into the half-court set. Let's run our offense and get good shots. And try to take advantage of the fact that we can get down there and keep them from the offensive end.
Yeah, you've got to be patient, and patience is the hardest thing from fifth grade kids all the way up to seniors. It's the hardest thing to learn is patience on the basketball court.
Might even be all the way up to NBA or WNBA.
Yeah. Inbounds to Arnold. She had a shot for a moment and then bounces it back out to Despain. And the other thing is you can't be afraid of the tall trees. You take it up right up through their nose, I always used to say. Vanonic 3, no good. Rebound tip. Hood had it for a moment and then lost it out of bounds. I'm actually going to say it was off of Ridgewood.
You got to give Maddie credit. She doesn't score a lot of points, or hasn't recently when I've got to see, West Prairie play, but she is a hustler for sure.
And into the game, Brooke Jones for Ridgewood. They lob it over for Stahl. Stahl back out. And in the lane, working around up top. Also into the game, Sierra Clark. Lob in lane, nice takeaway by the Cyclones. They lob it up to Powell. Back to Venonic. They'll work it across here, coming down to the near side. Gonna get a pick from Despain. Give it out to her near half court. Over for Lauren Powell. And now to Venonic in the corner. She'll put a three on the way. Ooh, just rattled out to Despain. She'll put it up, miss it. And pulling it down there is Jones. Jones off to Clark, and Clark will slow it up on the far side. Out to Brown, switch over. The Stall, back to Brown. They can just continue working around now. Going to put up the three. Hard off the mark, and Leander's right there. And boy, that makes shooting a three a lot easier when you know you got somebody inside that's just going to vacuum up every rebound.
Yeah, if the rebound stays short, the Spartans definitely have the advantage in the rebounding department just because of sheer size.
10-2 lead there. Powell with it now, far side. Gets a screen, drives in the lane, 17-footer, no good. Rebound, Leander one-handed it. That's impressive.
Yeah, and the other thing is you always talk about you got to box out the bigger players. Zone is a harder defense to find somebody to block out because they're coming from all different directions and you don't have a particular person to guard.
Working around there. Now, Ridgewood's showing some really good patience. I say that, and then Jones pops that one, rattles out.
Well, they've shown good patience and have got three attempts almost every time down the floor, if you think about it. I mean, they've shot a lot of threes, but they've gotten offensive rebounds for putbacks on the misses.
Arnold out top, down for Powell. Powell double team up to Despain. Dribbles lane, whips it over to Venonic. And now throws that one away, scooping it up. It is Stahl. Stahl in the lane. Did not stall on that one, puts it up and in.
I knew that was coming because I was thinking the same thing. She was running down the floor.
Great minds think alike, brother. They work it up to Hood. Into the corner to Despain. She'll drive in. Oh, nice job. Way to take it tough. Couldn't get it. Now Powell will shoot and roll it over the front of the rim and good.
I was going to say they need to get the lid off the bucket. They've had some good looks and some balls that looked like they were almost in, and they rolled out on them.
So 12-4 now. They bring it out to Jones. Working all the way around. Had her on the backside. Clark over to Brown, down to Jones. And you can see what they're kind of doing. Stahl will put up the three, miss it, and the rebound Hood. But they're working around, as you mentioned, trying to slip the person up the backside of the zone and get a dump down. And a 12-4, that's the end of the first quarter of play. 12-4 our lead here for the Spartans. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. McDonough District Hospital Athletic Trainers and the MDH Rehabilitation Center, with locations in Bushnell and Macomb, provide expert help to Cyclone student athletes in the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all injuries. Learn more at mdh.org. McDonough District Hospital, more than hospital care, a hospital caring. The Community News Brief for all your local news. Subscribe to the Community News Brief Weekly Edition, mailed directly to your home on Friday. As an option, you can also receive Monday and Wednesday editions by email. All of this for only $42 per year or $38 per year if you're 65 or older. Single copies can be purchased at select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, and Blandonsville. Seems like, as we mentioned, the Wild Week here. I know we'll be here for the regional semifinals Monday. Tuesday, we've got
BPC boys.
Right.
And Illini West Prairie at La Harpe again. And this time we'll actually have the equipment sorted out. So we'll, and I won't have anything break, and I'll have everything. And
oh, now you did it.
It'll all be good.
You did it.
You know what? That was my one bad night for the winter. That's what I'm going with.
There you go.
I'm going to have full belief in myself that that's going to be the one bad night.
Well, dude, I tell you what, I said this in the game the other night, and I mean it, and I'm serious when I tell folks they should do it. They should thank you up and down for doing all this year. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and you do it very capably and very well, and you know, I enjoy doing it. It's kind of drugged me out of retirement, and you know, it's a lot of fun. And actually, it's fun today to get to work with you because you and I don't hardly get to work together.
No, we've known each other for a long time and haven't got to work a lot of games, but none of this would be possible without folks like you.
And Warren Anderson drives in, misses that. Maddie Hood sweeps in for the layup. And the reason, folks, you wondered why she kind of threw it. She went out of bounds, so flipped it in. And Vanonic recovered down to Powell in the corner. Baseline J is good.
But it's people like you and John Burton and Kenny Suter and John Reynolds, who's helping now, and Miles, that make all this stuff possible.
Well, and it is a lot of fun. It's I enjoy doing it. I didn't realize how much I missed it. As Lauren Bell will come in, replacing Allie Arnold. No, it's a kind of a labor of love. It's a lot of fun, and I know we get kind of close to the end of my part of the season. I don't usually do baseball, softball, since I can't get away from work. As Despain, that's 2 in a row, and the Cyclones have closed to within 8.
Yeah, we are not going to do as much baseball and softball this year as we have in the past, or we did last year. It was still so COVID heavy last year that, people weren't going, but I think it's been pretty much proven now that outside events will have plenty of people at them. So,
well, and I'm kind of hitting more of the belief, if it's going to get you, it's going to get you, because I've had it, and I'm fully stocked, I guess you would call it. Maher, the rebound for Ridgewood.
I had it in November of 20, back before there was a vaccine, and I haven't had it since, and I have not had a vaccine.
So you've got both ends of the spectrum here. So, hey, folks, do what you like.
Exactly. Just don't fight about it. Let people do what they're going to do, because that's what they're going to do anyway.
Bell up with it for the Cyclones, over for Powell. Powell looking to dribble, kicks it over to Vanonic. Vanonic on the way. Yes, it is good. And that inches the Cyclones ever closer. It is down to a 3-point lead. Was 10. So they work down to Jones, and I can see why Coach Malik is wanting to call a timeout. You had everybody on one side instead of having good court spacing.
That's not how you're supposed to do it.
And we're going to thank some of the folks with making our broadcast possible. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We are back here, and yes, if you're wondering why the Varsity's playing right now, Dwayne was right. I should have explained that to you. What they're doing is I guess due to numbers for the JV for West Prairie, they're just basically going to play 2 10-minute halves. But this is the Varsity contest. They will have the JV contest after, but it's just going to be 2 10-minute halves.
And I think Lauren Powell's injury the other night, I don't know that they were for sure also how much she'd be able to play. She's played the entire half so far, but, Lindsey Dunn's checking in now for the
Maddie Hood, I believe.
Well, Maddie can't go out yet because she came in after the horn, so they've got to wait to the first dead ball.
Mm-hmm. Stahl looking to bring it in. Maher right there.
That's 2 blocks for Despain, just like that.
And I give Eddie credit. She got away with one there because there was a definite hand on the use there as a step ladder and get up there.
When they're taller than you, you got to take every advantage you can get, right?
I'm going to kind of plead the fifth on that because
you
I did
know.
that a lot.
I was going to say, you should know. Step stool that up there.
I did all the tricks. Maher shooting, and Vanonic with a block. Done the carom. And Lauren Powell will bring it up here. And you can see she is favoring that leg a little bit as Warren Anderson will get the steal. Bounces over for Brown. And Brown dribbles it on the way. Stall down to Leander. Working it over to Warren Anderson. She'll look to dribble. Lost the handle, and Bell with the steal. And now we're seeing Ridgewood seems a little impatient bringing the basketball up.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when things start going the other team's way a little bit, right? You feel a little pressure. The other team's playing a little better. I need to make something happen, and then suddenly the wheels start to go flat.
Despain on the near side up to Vanonic.
Or I guess the tires, right? The wheels don't go flat generally.
Well, depending on what vehicle you might have.
That's true. I guess if you had a 1905 steel wheel tractor,
there you
the
go.
wheel would go flat. Know what I mean, not what I say. How about
Yeah. I think most people have the Dwayne allowance in their in the broadcasts.
that? Anybody that's heard me before needs to.
Lauren got that one swatted as she went in there. And that's one of those, she faded away. And when you're going against a tall person, you can't fade away. I know that sounds kind of, vicious, but you go right up through their nostrils, basically.
Yeah. You either fade way away and get up high, but if you can't get higher than them when you're fading away, you got to go right at them. Foul's going to be on Lauren Powell.
And each team with a personal.
That's kind of amazing. Look at that inbound play. To
lob it in.
Yeah, to Maher, right? Number
Yep.
14. And they just literally stacked three of them together, and she was the last one. They just lobbed it over top of them to her. I got to pay attention to what I'm doing. Sorry, folks.
At least you're not like me. I'd be talking in the action and be on the other end of the court.
That's what just happened. That's why I said I gotta pay
okay.
attention.
Warren Anderson with the steal. And Addie Despain trying to get her. Brown gets the rebound, puts it up, and puts it in. So a little more breathing room for the Spartans of Ridgewood.
This is exactly what we talked about, though, that size advantage. And if they take advantage of that, the Spartans are going to be okay. That should have been a kick, shouldn't it?
I would have thought so.
Jump ball possession to the Spartans.
And we're going to have the ever-dreaded mask timeout. 3:33 left to go here in this first half at 16-11 in favor of the Spartans. Let's take this timeout on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I grew up in a small town in Missouri, and I like the feel of community. I like knowing the people that I take care of and knowing the people around me, providing care for someone that you know is in this community and helping them to get better.
And we're back here. Do want to thank more of the fine folks. And folks, all I ask is that you come in, say a nice word into these businesses that have been our sponsors. Send them an email, something like that. Just say, hey, thank you for bringing us these live game streams. That would be a huge favor to Dwayne, to all of us. Just come in and say, hey, we'd like to thank you for doing this. Some of the folks include McDonough Telephone Cooperative. This West Prairie game stream is made possible by McDonough Telephone's fiber internet. McDonough Telephone offers lightning fast and reliable fiber internet, video, phone, and camera systems in the McDonough County area. Call 309-776-3211 to check your availability. Good Hope Gardens, located at 445 East Main Street, Good Hope, just east of the North Elementary School. Open April through October. Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for all your fresh produce needs. Be sure to follow their Facebook page for daily updates. Grover and Mary Jo DeCounter and family invite you to Good Hope Gardens. Come see where it's growing. I would guess they've already got things started or will imminently get things going. Or growing, I guess is the proper term.
I guess it's kind of the same thing, right? They probably have to they probably have heaters in their greenhouses. They start so early, don't they?
Usually, I know I one later and I start mid-March. I would bet probably by early February they're growing stuff. Maher going to bring it out to Stahl. Up to Brown. Shot is on the way. There they got a three. Finally, they'd had a bunch of attempts. Hadn't been able to get one, and finally you do get one there. 19-11. Powell trying to dribble through the double team. Draws a foul on Brown.
I hope I didn't jinx it.
Yeah, now you did it. Powell loops one down, tried to loop it to Vidonic, but stolen away by Maher. And now bring back the other way. They'll work it out. Maher going to take a couple dribbles out to Stahl, into Leander. And nice job by Lauren Bell underneath, but Warren Anderson able to get the rebound, put it up, put it in. And I give Lauren Bell a lot of credit. Did a fantastic job of, just leading on Leander and bothering her.
Yeah, that's the only thing you can do, right, is just hang in there and do what you can.
And lob down to Powell, up to Vidonic. Clark will check back in at the next dead ball. In the lane to Powell, to Bell, out to Vidonic. And they'll work it over to Despain. She'll hold, bounce down, come in the corner to Powell, made a nice acrobatic catch. To Despain, she'll look to drive in, bounce to Powell, past her, Leander the steal, and out it comes in the hands of Stahl. Ridgewood basketball, they bring it to Warren Anderson into Maher, thought about the lob, works it back out. Now they bring it into Leander to Maher, and Venonic that one. Yeah, you have that second hand up about the shoulder. Yeah, they're going to get it.
And then the follow-through doesn't help either.
So second team foul on each team, and Maher will be at the free throw line. Free throw is a little hard off the back of the iron. Arnold and Hood come back in. Lindsey Dunn goes out. Lauren Bell goes out.
Is that number 4 came in for
Clark.
Is that who that came in? Is that who came in?
Yes. Second one, no good. Rebound tipped, and Addie Despain able to tip it away from Leander. Now dribbled up by Venonic, chased by Clark, and jumped at by Brown. Double teamed, and Grant Bland has to call a timeout. Minute 40 left to go in this first half of play, and I'm telling you what, folks, this is blitzed along here. As you and I were talking about how quickly this game has gone so far. 10-point lead, been about the average for Ridgewood, 21-11 here. It just, as I say, it just seems like it's just gone really quick, up and down play.
Yeah, I actually looked at you at the 3:33 mark of this quarter and said, is that really the under 4 timeout already? Are we only playing 6-minute quarters or something? Because this whole game is fly, but we've only had 5 fouls called in the entire game, and there hasn't been a lot of jump balls, which, as you know, being around basketball for a long time, nothing slows basketball games more, it seems like, than jump balls.
Oh, exactly, and fouls too. I know the other night the West Central North Fulton, Addie Despain putting up the 3 and hitting it, stopping a run by Ridgewood. That game, it was a tight game, a lot of fouls. Even for a junior high game, that took forever. Working around again. Brown going to pop a 3 for Ridgewood. As back the other way comes Venonic. She sees Powell up ahead of the pack, and Maher able to tip that away. Oh, I'm glad she's okay there. The way she went down was a little worried that
It's the only thing I was good at in basketball was falling down without getting hurt.
I was better at making other people fall down, but
That's because you're short and they tripped over you.
yeah, pretty much. Kind of like the one step.
You know, in all honesty, I was only like 5'5" until high school, so
Yeah.
I feel your pain.
The sad thing was I was 5'2" and didn't grow much more in 8th grade. Venonic works it down to the far side, looking for Despain out top. The quick 3, and Maher says, nuh-uh.
It'll happen once, but not twice.
And that one, though, she draws the fouls. Despain comes crashing in there. And, folks, that illustrates the point I was making. Dwayne was agreeing with me. When you go at big people like that, you have to go, like, right into them. So you make them make a decision and make them have to play good defense.
One of the hardest things even when you're, as she makes the first one, even when you're a tall player trying to block a shot is you don't have to swing your arm down, but it's really hard not to.
It is.
And even when you're tall, if you swing your arm down and make contact, it's still a foul.
And it's that, the Cyclones are starting to put a little of that pressure on, and that's what you got to do. You got to get, run right at them. And as I said, just basically that's more of a kind of I guess, a vulgar terminology, but stick it right up their nose.
Well, and the other thing is we talked about running your half-court set. The Spartans have dropped out of the press now for the most part, and when West Prairie runs their half-court set, until I said that.
Yeah.
But they have been having a lot more success in the half-court set, which then turns into having success everywhere.
That was thrown to the 6-foot version of Lauren Powell in whatever multiverse that is, not the 5'2" version of Lauren Powell.
Not the real-life version.
Right. No, it's multiverse. So you have all that different. I watch a lot of Marvel movies, so. Jones works it around up top for Stahl in the lane. Kicked out for Clark. She'll toe up the 3, miss it. And the rebound, Maher couldn't get it secured. And nice job by Arnold, able to get away. And then Leander committing the personal foul. And I know as a coach that is very frustrating when the biggest person on the court commits a foul.
With 4.7 seconds left, too.
And on the other end of the court.
Yep.
Cyclones will bring it inbounds.
And there is the pressure.
Lobbed up to Powell. Powell Looking to dribble, pulls it out of her pocket, can't get it to go. 21-16 at the half. The Spartans of Ridgewood lead the Cyclones of West Prairie. Let's take this commercial timeout. It is the half here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit.
The new facility, the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center, this is a quality facility that the patients need to match the quality of care.
And then we also have a new clinic, which is state-of-the-art.
And here at McDonough, we have a team. And everybody feels like they're a part of the successes that we have.
We have a strong team in our office and in labor and delivery. You will get the best care at McDonough District.
At Country Financial, we enjoy serving the community in which we live, big or small.
I love living in the Blandonsville area. It's where I grew up, went to school, and decided to raise my family. I never had a desire to live or work anywhere other than in a small town. I feel lucky to help my longtime friends and neighbors with their insurance needs. It's like working with family every day.
I'm Brett Powell, your local Country Financial representative, whose door is always open to work with you.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
And we are back here, and I thought we'd go over again, just some of the things we're working on, because it is going to be a wild week next week. Again, Monday, I will be here at the for the 5 and 6:30 version of the regional semifinals, the 8th grade side of things. That will be here. I'm remiss, I did not ask Jason who won this morning. I know the Cyclones will be in action coming up on Monday night. We will have both of those, 5 and 6:30. And then coming up on a Tuesday night, you have BPC boys at home.
Yes, and then I think that's Lewiston. BPC boys at home against Lewiston. And then we're also going Kenny's going to do that game with Miles. Right. John Burton and I are going to go do Illini West. Illini West and West Prairie at La Harpe.
Old school. They do. Illini West does that once a year there. It's kind of neat. Go up there and play in that La Harpe gym. And so, you guys will be there. So we'll have 3 for the price, or 4 for the price of 4.
Yeah. And then Wednesday night, we're still seeing what all might come up Wednesday night, but there is a Southeastern boys game here.
Yep.
With West Prairie. And then Thursday night, the 8th grade regional championship is here.
Yep.
And you'll do that.
I will be here.
And John Burton and I will be down in
Colchester
doing the girls' game. So we'll have 4 games that night as well. Then Friday night, there's something, and then I think I don't know, I've lost track after that. That's far enough down the road, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. That's our weekly preview, and we are doing some work on possible another broadcast. And, of course, if you would like to be a part of that, you can send a message to my colleague here, Dwayne Hewlett, or pop into our chat and say, hey, I'm interested in some extra basketball.
Yeah, we are looking at doing 7th grade sectional for West Prairie, but we do need some sponsorship help to do that. I sent a message to Coach DeCounter, so he knows kind of where we're at on that, but we have worked out a deal. We did something with Hartsburg-Emden during the volleyball sectional where they sold some advertising and we gave them a percentage of the advertising. They sold it themselves and sent us the information. Made the same kind of thing, a little better deal with. We could get Mr. Finch we should get Mr. Finch on a broadcast sometime, shouldn't we?
Actually, we do need to ask you, who won this morning, Mr. Finch?
He probably doesn't remember.
Yes. Lewiston and LaHarpe won.
Lewiston and LaHarpe.
So, and okay. And who do they play Monday night? LaHarpe will play West Prairie, and Lewiston plays North Fulton. Okay.
So it's Fulton County versus Old Co-op.
Yeah.
You remember that co-op, don't you?
Jason's my age, so we're that old.
Well, I remember when Mr. Finch was Coach Finch.
Yeah, I do as well. Hey,
Yes.
I didn't say what year. I did not say what year it was.
Hey, I'm going to point out that we were all still young.
We were.
We were all still young, and it
Slim
was
and good looking, and
well. I don't know that I was ever slim or good looking, but I was slimmer and less gray anyway.
so you heard it there. It'll be, yeah.
He didn't say he was at his prime now.
No, he said he's much calmer now.
Oh, well, that's true.
That is true.
That's like saying that somebody's skinnier than me, though. That ain't accomplishing a whole lot.
I know it'll be Lewiston, so it'll be Lewiston, North Fulton, and LaHarpe and West Prairie coming up on Monday night. I did not ask him which combination was which, so just tune
West
into
Prairie is
both.
the first game again, I think.
Okay.
I was going to pull that up earlier, and I
can pull it up on my tablet because both of us have terrible eyes.
Well, I already had it pulled up once on
Okay.
my phone on the way here.
But, yeah, folks, if you'd like to help us with that special sectional project, get in touch with Mr. DeCounter.
I lied, actually. It's North Fulton versus Lewiston in the 5 o'clock game in Colchester, West Prairie. It's funny how it's Scioto, West Prairie in high school, but Colchester, West Prairie in junior high, and LaHarpe.
Well, and that's all where the school is based out of. I mean, you'll have some really weird, like that, Valley whatever, and Spoon River Valley, North Fulton. Yeah, you'll have some weird things.
Yeah, Spoon River Valley.
Astoria, South Fulton, or VIT, South Fulton.
Yeah, it's craziness, but it's all fun, and at least kids are getting to play sports. And we talked about how these last couple weeks of basketball are always busy, but you remember even before we started doing this particular thing, it's always that way. You have a schedule. And then because of weather, it always ends up being piled at the end at the end of the year, and that's exactly what happened. We went from having 2 or 3 games a week, or 4 games
5.
a week, to having 8 or 10 games a week. I mean, depending on what we add to the schedule and what,
right?
And it's just one of those things where you know that's coming. You have to try to be ready for it, and you just make it work as best you can. And Monday or Tuesday, what night was that? What night did I do that game? I'm lost track. It was Thursday night. Thursday night was not a good night. You did a fantastic job, by the way.
Well, thank you.
Your broadcast is the only one that went off without a hitch, I might add.
Thanks. Now you've just cursed me for the next week. But no.
Well, it's about time you had some bad luck with me.
Yeah.
Join
the
party, buddy.
You remember that week, too, we didn't have the scoreboard for part of our broadcast.
Oh, that's true.
That Monday night because we had issues there. But no, I enjoy it. I enjoy doing some of the junior high games because the joy is far more pure. I'm not saying high school kids are jaded and they don't have joy with it, but it's a little different. With the junior high kids, it's new. Regionals and sectionals are new, and it's just fun watching the joy on their faces when they get out on the floor. And I mean, you get some of the kids that have never scored a basket before, and all of a sudden they score a basket, and watching their face light up is so cool. That is the neatest thing. I know the first night my son scored a basket, I mean, just watching him, his face just explode was really cool. And because of different reasons and that with COVID, he missed about a year of playing. Didn't play. Came back out this year, and I got to say a lot about Jeff Copeland and Sam DeCounter, and if you're both listening, please don't get a big head, but wonderful job. They have done a fantastic job. Only the 4th regional title in West Prairie basketball history. I was really surprised when they told me that. And that, we hope maybe the 8th grade has a shot at it this week.
Now, is that all of basketball or just junior high?
All.
Really?
Really.
So all of them have been at junior high then almost, haven't they?
Yeah, because the bunch that's seniors now had won a regional.
At 7th and 8th grade both, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
It is. We start the third quarter here. It is Lauren Powell, Addie Despain, Allie Arnold, Maddie Hood, and Grace Vanonic, and they were trying to get it to Grace Vanonic, and Brown was really bothering her.
Did you see Grace was over there, like, this is what I was supposed to do, practicing the three-point shot there?
Yep.
This is how that was supposed to work.
Lob in from Despain to Powell. Now bouncing out to Vanonic, over to Despain. She'll drive baseline, go to put it up, and Maher got a piece of it. And now here comes Grace Vanonic dribbling around, wheeling down the wing. Now they're trying to run, and I know what the play is. It's called continuous. They're trying to get that three-point shot. Haven't been able to, but they wing it over to Despain. She shoots it. Maher snaps up the rebound, and it is Hannah Maher. I couldn't quite read the handwriting when I did the intros. Maya Brown also joined out there by Carmen Stahl.
Whose handwriting was it?
The coaches. Halika Warren Anderson and Paige Leander shooting the turnaround. Can't get it to go. Good defense by Hood, and we've got a reach-in foul. And
Team's first, right?
Right. And now they'll work it up again. The harassing pressure, not harassing, harassing pressure. And now Maddie Hood dribbles up, throws that one up, can't get it to go. Maher the rebound.
I think Coach Bland just about jumped out of the gym right there. He saw an open player, and nobody else but him did.
Warren Anderson drives the baseline, spins, brings it out to Brown, up to Stahl, over to Paige Leander. Up top for Brown. Brown spots herself. Three is good. And so going to up the lead to 24-16. 6.5, clock rolling here. As they'll bring it up to Despain. Addie Despain dribbling around here. Bounces over for Vanonic. Up to Lauren Powell. Nearly had it go through her hands.
A little lackadaisical on the passing department right now.
Kind of sagged a little bit there. Bounce out to Vanonic. Now she'll spot the long three. A little short. Warren Anderson chases it down. And Coach Malik is screaming at her girls to go. To Leander, out to Brown. She's wanting them to pick up the pace a little bit. Leander another rebound, puts it up and puts it in.
Well, if you notice, they're trapping a little more in the zone press that they have now. They're making a point to try to trap a little more than they did in the first half. They're pushing the envelope a little bit now and trying to pick up the speed. When you see the other team not subbing much, that's a good reason why you'd probably do that.
Vanonic dribbles and bouncing out to Powell. Leander came right out after her. Over to Vanonic. Couple of bounces. Tries to go up on Maher and has that one. And I know I'm going to break into one of these times. I'm going to break into the Three Stooges. Never mind. I watch a lot of Three Stooges.
Should I hold my hand between my eyes?
You should. Despain looking to bring it in. Out to Allie Arnold. Shot on the way. Ooh, bounces off. But a nice tip by Arnold. Despain couldn't get the shot off. Maher the rebound. Out it comes to Stahl, and I'll probably be dating myself, but I'll call her Leslie Stahl one of these times here, somewhere around this ball game. Clark into the game now. Oh, nice pass down to Leander. Dwayne, that was a beautiful entry pass.
Yep, that's you're getting that backside forward, come down on the block, and then you catch the defense in rotation on the zone, and then you get an easy look at the basket.
Addie Despain will trigger it in. Wanting to get it into Hood. Now out to Powell. And they lob it back to Despain. She'll put up the three in the corner. Good. Big shot there by the Cyclones. It had been quite a run by the Spartans. Now they're, and Dwayne, now you see they are making a concerted effort to load Leander in the post.
Yeah, and the thing is they continue to do that. They'll continue to get fouls called on West Prairie too, probably because they're just undersized down there. If West Prairie is the first one's good, if West Prairie allows her to post up and not have somebody in front of her, she's going to have a lot of success down on the block.
Makes the first.
That backside person in whatever side it's on, the backside, probably the middle, has to get around in front of her, not let her have the block open if they're playing a 2-3.
Up to Venonic. Over for Powell. She'll put up the 3 and get it. Well, they may have to shoot themselves back into this one because it now cuts it back to an 8-point deficit.
You can do that if you can hit a 3 for every one of their 2, right?
Right. 3-2 exchange. Maher tied up. Nice job, Allie Arnold, to jump in there, tie Maher up.
Well, that's exactly what I was talking about. Allie's playing the top of the zone, but she came down to front in the post, and when she got down there, the pass was able to be tied up.
Inbounds, they tried to get it to Leander, but threw it a little past her.
Maddie Hood set a pick right in the middle of the lane right there and kept that pass, I couldn't tell which player it was trying to get out there, but couldn't get there.
Powell out with it. Up to Venonic. Venonic to Despain. She'll put the 3 up, rolls it off. Maher the rebound, and Hood's going to give the personal. And that's one of those you got to be a little careful.
Yeah, the official that called it said blue 2, and the official on the other side of the floor screaming white 2, white 2, white 2.
Yeah, that would have gone over the best there, as now they work it back out. Clark holds for Ridgewood to Stahl down in the corner. Leander will pop the 3. No good, and rebound tipped around. Hood able to get it. To Venonic. Up to Despain. Despain has her pass batted away by Leander. And now here comes Stahl bringing it up. Good job by Allie Arnold, chasing it in the corner. And it's going to be, well, we've actually got a mass timeout, and Coach Malik says, thank you. I was going to call a timeout anyway. 3:26 left to go here in the third quarter play, 30-22. The Ridgewood Spartans lead West Prairie right here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Your farm is your legacy. As a leading farm insurer, Country Financial Insurance is here to help protect it. Call Brett Powell, your local country rep, at 309-652-3889 for a free quote today. Yetter Farm Equipment, with facilities in Colchester and Macomb, Illinois, is an agriculture equipment manufacturer that has been in business since 1930 and is currently hiring. Start a new career with excellent benefits and starting hourly wages of $18 to $24 per hour. For more information, call 309-776-4111 or visit them online at www.yetterco.com/careers. Just again, some of the fine sponsors making the broadcast possible, like JoJo's Gaming Parlor, our pre- and post-game sponsors. JoJo's Gaming Parlor offers the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out the TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH Events, live on the big screens. Come join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street, Bushnell, and cheer our area teams on to victory. 30-22 here. A lot of time to get back in. To get the three-pointers going, they're going to have to, if that's the way you're going to get back in the game, you've got to have really great ball movement and flow.
Yeah, and that's the hardest shot to make, too, so your percentages is probably going to be lower. But in this instance, with the size that Ridgewood has in the post, you're probably going to shoot just as good from outside as inside, because they're going to have hands in your face and be taller than you anyway. So if you can get a 25 to 30% three-point shooting percentage, you're probably going to score as many, if not more, points than if you have try to shoot everything from 2, because you're going to get a lot of shots blocked.
In the wise words of Bobby Knight, you can't teach tall. And
you cannot.
Powell brings it up, and you see they're extending their zone a little bit, Ridgewood is, to try to contain those three-pointers, even kind of almost looks like they're running a kind of a matchup zone.
Yeah, that's just what I was getting ready to say.
And a nice load into Hood, but Hood can't get it. Powell gets the ball back, tries to get it out to Venonic, and Brown takes it away. Stahl up the far side of the court, scoops it up. Out to Brown. She'll pop the long 3, won't go. Rebound to Spain. She's fouled from behind.
A lot more fouls here in the second half as the intensity starts to pick up a little bit more.
And that one's going to be on Stahl. That is the second on the team. Each team with a pair.
I'm going to look at this where the defense is. There's not anybody below the free throw line. They are definitely playing a matchup zone now.
As they work it through here, and you can tell, watch the players as they go through. Venonic actually gets a 3 in the corner and hits it. And Warren Anderson was just a little bit slow to get out there, and that is something you cannot do. 30-25. Lead down to 5. Stahl out to Clark. Down to Warren Anderson, bouncing into Leander, and she has it taken away.
You know, the other thing about that, bounce passes, we always scream about using, well, let's see what happens here.
And
always scream about what happens as the travel is called. Always scream about using bounce passes, right? But when you have that kind of a height advantage,
lob it.
Get it up to them up in the air where nobody else can get would probably be a benefit. And that's one of the times where the smaller West Prairie players are able to swipe it away on a bounce pass.
And Leander is like posting up at the free throw line. That one shot by Stahl. Leander says, thanks for the gumball, Mickey.
Lauren Powell was down there with her, but Lauren, no contest for the rebounding if she doesn't have a great box out to keep her behind her.
And Despain nearly threw that one away. She and Arnold tie it up. And Maher and Jones will come in. Leander and Warren Anderson go out. Inbounds, Despain bring it in, 32-25. Inbounds to Powell. Powell pops the shot, won't go. Rebound chase. Lauren Bell tried to get after it. And now Stahl on the run out. She spiked from behind by Addie Despain off the hands of Jones. Great play on the chase down.
You know, you wonder it all for somebody like Despain and Maddie Hood who play front row and volleyball. If the ability and the control you learn doing that doesn't help you jumping like that to block shots in basketball too.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, they kind of dovetail with each other. And the pass trying to throw it to Vanonic. Jones picks it off. And Coach Malik screaming, get it to a guard. Because that's exactly what I'd scream. They bring it into Maher. She goes up, can't get it to go. It'll stay with Ridgewood.
A little bit of a block there. And
inbounds from Brown into Clark. And now Stahl spotted and wide open. Nobody came out and got her and dropped home a 3. And that's kind of a backbreaker because that puts it back out to 10 with a minute left to go in the third quarter. Hood driving lane, puts up shot, won't go. Rebound Stahl out of there with it. Working it up the outside. And tried to get over to Clark. Vanonic tipping it out of bounds. Clark into Jones. Jones going to pop a 3. And that one bounced. Not sure. I thought they might call that. I guess it didn't go over the top of the backboard, but
it didn't hit the holder of the backboard of the stanchion, so it's good.
And Despain comes right back and says, got you back. So a 13-point lead back down to 10. 30 seconds left in the quarter. As Brown brings it over to Clark. Clark thought about it, working it around here over to Stahl on the far wing. Trying to get in, and Vanonic trying to get it back, trying to steal it away from Brown. Up to Jones. Jones in lane to Maher, and they're going to call a foul on that. Yep, Maddie Hood going to pick up the personal.
I couldn't see that because I was looking through the camera lens, but it looked like was wrapped around her pretty good.
And now inbounds will come from Brown. Brown looking in, comes to Stahl. Dribbles it out, comes over to Brown. Brown in the lane to Maher. She'll take a nice dribble and went up. And that's one, they kind of got tied up there together. But again, that again goes back to my point of when you do things like that, good things happen.
Right, and that's the same thing as Maddie Hood's going to get called for another foul there. Lindsey Dunn's going to come in for her, I would imagine. But you can't play behind somebody who's that much taller than you.
Exactly.
Maddie Hood needs to be getting around in front of her, or at least three-quartering her, not letting her catch a clean pass on the inbound. Because you're going to have fouls like that all day long if that's what happens.
And she makes them both, puts it out to a 40-28 lead. Vanonic up to Powell. She'll pop the quick 3, won't go. Rebound. Lauren Bell had it for a second, had it ripped away, and Ridgewood's just going to kind of let it go. They were a little slow getting it up, and so just going to kind of let it go there. 40-28 here at the end of the third quarter play. Fourth quarter on the way on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I became a nurse practitioner because I wanted to do more, I wanted to learn more, actually have more hands-on individually with patients. The rewarding part for me is that I get to come to work and learn something new every single day.
We're back here, Grant Bland with his charges here on TSSR at Game Time Live. We've got to appreciate Grant letting me pester him all season long. That has been pester. I do like to pester him, but it's been a lot of fun here being in the gym as we get. As I said, I don't want to sound too, hey, it's over next week, but we are counting down. I know for girls broadcasts, I'll do this one, and then I'll be back for the one with the 10th, and that's our home broadcast season for the girls' side of things. I know the boys go just a little bit longer,
and we will have the boys regional as well because they play at Bushnell.
Mm-hmm. And you never know, I may come up and help with that one there. I've got a youngster playing volleyball, and trying to keep everybody going every which direction is always difficult. Brown, Stahl, Maher, Leander, and Clark on the floor for Ridgewood. And now they bring it into Leander. Leander just kind of bulling Despain out of the way, but Despain able to block it. Maher able to scoop it up, though, and put it up and in. Get the lead out to 42-28. Vanonic with it. Quick set went to shoot. Shoots, and Leander scooping up the rebound. Coach Malik shouting go. As Stahl was stalling out. Maher shoots the quick free throw line jumper.
Is that Lauren Powell from behind?
It was. It was attack of the Powell. And that'll put Maher up at the free throw line once again. She made the last two, and there's at least 3 in a row. Make it 4 in a row. She makes a pair and expands the lead out now to 16, 44-28. Cyclones work it to Despain. Down in the corner, Powell. Powell out to Despain. To Vanonic. Back to Despain. She'll put the 3 up. Won't go. And Leander brings the rebound in. And back they will bring it in the hands of Clark. And you can bet they're going to be very patient here, working it around. And to Maher, back to her from Stahl, and then puts it up, can't get it to go, gets the rebound. Had to tore it away from 2 Cyclones, put it up and put it in. And a timeout called by Grant Bland. The lead has ballooned out to 18. I believe that's a quick 6-0 burst here to start this fourth quarter. 6.5 left to go here. Let's take this timeout on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. For all your local news, subscribe to the Community News Brief, a weekly edition mailed directly to your home every Friday. You can also receive Monday and Wednesday editions by email. All of this for only $42 per year or $38 per year if you're age 65 or older. Single copies can be purchased at select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, and Blandonsville. Well, it's reached the time where for West Prairie they've got to put up shots quick. Now, you don't have any choice.
Well, you got to put up shots, but you still have to get good shots. The real key at this point is less about shooting and more about defense. If you can't figure out how to stop the post and get the ball back, all the shooting in the world isn't going to do you a whole lot of good. So you got to figure out how to stop the post play, which has really been dominant in the second half for the Spartans, which has in turn then opened up some three-point shots as well. So their offense for Ridgewood has really came alive. West Prairie's has in a lot of respects as well, but they've traded baskets. Even if they've traded 3s for 2s, they've still been trading baskets, which only works for so long, and now you're out of time for that to work, of course.
Well, and the other thing you got too, Dwayne, you got to stop the putbacks. The putbacks have really killed them all game long.
That is exactly right, too. That all goes, those post issues, both rebounding and offense.
Got a foul on Brown.
She looked up like, did I do something?
Got me. Spell holds on to it.
I heard a fan over here say, what?
That's one of those Saturday afternoon crowds.
Yeah.
Powell dribbling there, and Brown trying to take it away, and we've got a jump ball. Possession error will stay with West Prairie. Allie Arnold back in. Okay, so it's Allie Arnold, Addie Despain, Grace Vanonic, Lauren Powell, and Lindsey Dunn for the Cyclones.
Player and fan reactions are sometimes the best part of this game. You know that?
They are. Vanonic drilling down. Brown right in her hip pocket. Got to be careful on the 5-second call to Powell.
I think we need a camera on Coach Bland.
Yeah, he was hopped up because he thought Powell was going to get taken away. Despain thought about shooting it. Leander said, bet you don't. Now Powell in the lane, tried to shoot it over Maher, and...
Well, she went right to everybody like you said, but got a lot of contact but no foul call.
As they bring it, Clark over to Brown, over to Stahl, and Leander, I don't think thought that was for her as it went over her head and out of bounds. And Lindsey Dunn out, Maddie Hood back in. 5:46 left to go here in the ball game. 46-28 lead for Ridgewood. They bring it to Hood. Hood bouncing out to Vanonic. She'll spot the three. Kind of shot it side saddle. And Arnold doing a good job tying up Leander. So it'll be Ridgewood basketball.
Allie Arnold is kind of an unsung hero of this team. She doesn't play as much as I'm kind of surprised that she does, but she just is on the floor after the ball all the time.
Yep.
Doesn't score a lot of points, but, man, she's after it all the time.
Clark with it, back over to Brown. And, again, this is where they're going to be patient. To Leander in the corner.
I would doubt that you'll see a three taken here, right?
Well, if you do, you'll see somebody on the bench next to the ball. Now Leander plows her way in and a couple tips around. Maher went to put it back up, and out of there with it comes Grace Vanonic. Vanonic down to the far side. They're looking to try to run that continuous play, and then the pass stolen away by Brown. Brown up the court, drives on to Spain. I think was one of those she was trying to draw the foul and didn't get it. Warren, Anderson, and Jones in. Go ahead, Dwayne.
That's one of those times where you know you should just back it out, right?
Yep.
You're 4:46 left. You're up by 18 points. You just back it out and run time off the clock.
Yeah, 1-on-2 fast breaks when you're up this far are not things that drive coaches nuts.
1-on-2 fast breaks drive coaches nuts most of the time, but especially in that scenario.
Grace Vanonic putting the three on the way. Jones chases the rebound down in the corner for Ridgewood. And out of there with it comes Stahl, chased by Lauren Powell. Over to Clark, back to Jones. Kind of a dangerous pass crossed that way. To Jones, putting up a three. Well, we were wrong. There was a three, but Warren Anderson. And again, if you're dominating inside like that and you can get rebounds every time.
That wasn't a three-point shot. That was a three-point pass.
There you go. 48-28, lead is 20. And a foul on
34.
Jones. That was Jones with it. The fourth on the team. As up the free throw line steps Grace Vanonic for the Cyclones. Free throw is good.
Is this the first free throws of the second half for the Cyclones?
I believe so.
They shot two at the very end of the first half and two here, right? Is that memory correct there? Do you remember?
Yep, I believe that is. And makes them both, so it's 48-30. The lead is 18. Jones going to dribble up, and Powell with the near pick. They're going to give that foul to Lauren Powell. And we're going to have the mass timeout. 4 minutes even left to go in the ball game. It is 48-30, the lead for Ridgewood over West Prairie. Let's take this timeout on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I became a nurse practitioner because I wanted to do more. I wanted to learn more, actually have more hands-on individually with patients. The rewarding part for me is that I get to come to work and learn something new every single day.
Ridgewood talking things over, and you can bet pace of play will be one of their big discussion topics. Coach Malik telling them, I mean, if you can get a good shot, yeah, you've got to take a good open shot, but don't just come down and throw up the first thing that you get.
Well, and it better be a wide open three-pointer, right?
Right. Morgan Bowers now into the ball game. Will bring it across the timeline. Maher's still in there along with Jones, Warren Anderson, and Stahl. And that one turned right. And again, when you can have recovery like that, Bowers drove in, missed it. And that one scooped up by Warren Anderson, puts it back to a 50-30 lead. They work it up to Despain. Her shot's no good. Hood the rebound out to Powell. She'll put it up. Won't get it to go. Warren Anderson another rebound. That's like on our last two sequences. That's 3 rebounds. Up to Jones. Jones lobbing to Maher.
Right here.
Yep. And you heard her say it. Said right here. And
Maddie Hood just fouled out.
Yep. Lauren Bell will check in. As Maddie Hood will foul out. Maher once again at the free throw line, and I think she's made at least 4 in a row.
Yeah, she shot all 4 of them, I think, for her team.
And there we jinxed her.
It's your fault. The announcer's jinx gets them every time.
Ready this one?
Is it going to be good or bad?
I'm not going to say. Well, I figured that. Good free throw shooters, you can tell. 51-30. Of course, I can say that. You don't know what I thought exactly. Make myself look smarter, which is difficult to do at moments. And now Despain out with it. We go down to Ward 3 minutes left to go here in the ball game. Despain nearly has it stolen, now does. Warren Anderson takes it away, and then Powell commits it. You talked about reactions, Dwayne, and Lauren was
That's one in bonus now, I think.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And Lauren was so mad at herself. She was hopping and bouncing around. And on the scoreboard, and you got newer people running the scoreboard. I know Jason was really, having a hard time filling in. And so actually, there we go. Now the foul's set up here. And Warren Anderson will step in at the free throw line.
You have to remember, folks, too, other than the clock, the scoreboard really doesn't matter.
Right. And the free throw's missed. Venonic the rebound. And whip it over to Powell. Powell will pop the quick 3 and get it.
And I just, guess what I was doing?
You were on the other end.
I was not paying attention.
That's why
I was watching the game like I was calling the game instead of watching the game like I was videoing the game.
See, that's why I said it's better you on the camera than me, because I'd have probably done the same thing about 20 times already.
I've done it at least 2 or 3.
And now Powell knocks that one off Bauer's leg. Grant Bland will take a timeout with 2:43 left to go in the game. It is 51-33, the lead for the Ridgewood Spartans. This West Prairie game stream is made possible by McDonough Telephone's fiber internet. McDonough Telephone offers lightning fast and reliable fiber internet, video, phone, and camera systems in the McDonough County area. Call 309-776-3211 to check your availability. Good Hope Gardens, located at 445 East Main Street in Good Hope. They are just east of the North Elementary School. Open April through October, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for all of your fresh produce needs. Be sure to follow their Facebook page for daily updates. Grover and Mary Jo DeCounter and family invite you to Good Hope Gardens. Come see where it's grown. And Despain will bring it in to Venonic. And now also onto the floor, Larissa Swanson for Ridgewood. Powell dribbles down with it. In the corner for Despain. Get it under the basket for Lauren Bell. Can't get the shot to go. Arnold flies in for the board and gets it out to Venonic. When I said flew, she did. Came sailing in to grab it and get the possession back for the Cyclones. They bounce to Despain. Despain out to Powell. Powell a fake in the lane. Shoots shot and got it. Folks, that is not an easy shot. That pull-up like that is not an easy shot. Nice job by Lauren Powell there. Makes it 51-35. As they work it into Warren Anderson, she dribbles on Bell. Out to Bowers, over to Jones for Ridgewood. In the lane again to Warren Anderson. She shoots over the top of Lauren Bell and puts it in and good. Makes it 53-35 with 1:45, clock rolling. Venonic wanted the quick pull-up, couldn't get it. To Powell. Back to Venonic. Down to Arnold. Arnold wheeling around. Nearly threw it past Despain. Addie Despain in the corner. Warren Anderson says nope. She swats it out. More substitution. Clark coming back in. Also coming in, Heidi Leander.
1 minute and 30 seconds left. Number 3's in the game, too.
And that would be Bowers. To Venonic. Swanson jumping out at her. Also in there, number 20, Brinley Wirt. And another 3, Addie Despain dropping one home. Makes it 53 to 38. 39 rather. As they just continue to work it around here. And still looking, it is Heidi Leander driving down up to Swanson. She'll spot the 3 and roll it home. Swanson getting a reaction out of the bench there as she drops one home.
We might point out here, too, Greg, that this is the time as Addie Despain's going to try a 3. This is the time when the winning coach doesn't mind that the kids shoot the 3 now, right?
Exactly. With 40 seconds left, yeah, it's okay now.
And the bench players are in. You want them to be able to score.
Heidi Leander, shot no good. Rebound Arnold with it. Rips it away from 2 or 3 people. Off in the hands of Powell. In the lane she goes. Nice Euro step and puts it up and in.
You got to give Lauren Powell credit. She was banged up pretty good in that Illini West game. She's played the entire game here today.
Makes it a 56-41. And getting it down there. That one shot up by Leander. No good, no good. Finally got it.
Third time's a charm.
Hey, you get it where you can. And that's the ball game. 58-41. The final score as the West Prairie Cyclones fall at the hands of the Ridgewood Spartans here tonight, 58-41. This afternoon we will be back for the JV game, of course. And I know, folks, that seems weird, but I believe it is due to numbers issues. We will bring you the JV game in just a little bit. Do want to thank our very fine sponsors. Like I said, we'll take about a 10-minute break, switch over to the other stream, and be back here in just a moment. This is Dwayne and Greg on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.